Today on Tacoma Report, the Tacoma Police Department's Interim Chief, Patti Jackson, gets sworn in. Learn about Proposition 1 being presented to voters on the April ballot, how you can book your own escape adventure at Fort Nisqually, get an inside look at Washington State History Museum's new TOYTOPIA exhibit, and meet the newest and cutest resident at Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. These stories and more coming up on Tacoma Report. Welcome to Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor. Tacoma's new interim police chief is officially sworn in. Patti Jackson takes on the role following a recent transition in leadership. Tacoma Report's Mark McKittrick was on site for the ceremony and takes a look at what this means for the department and the community moving forward.
In a pivotal move for the city's law enforcement, Patti Jackson has been appointed as the new interim police chief for the Tacoma Police Department. Jackson, who was sworn in on the role on March 19th, is stepping into the position following the resignation of former police chief Avery Moore earlier this year.
And I think just really kind of coming in and assessing what our agency members need the most to be able to do what it is that they do the best, which is serve the community. And they do so with pride and honor, and I want to be able to help support our agency members in doing that.
With more than 35 years of experience in law enforcement, Jackson brings a wealth of expertise to her new position. Prior to assuming her current role, she spent much of her career with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department, where she held various leadership positions, including overseeing patrol operations and the Corrections Bureau. Her deep understanding of local law enforcement dynamics will be crucial in navigating Tacoma's current public safety landscape.
What is it that the community members are asking for, and be able to translate that back to the men and women who really want to do that and just kind of make certain that we're able to work together to meet goals and demands.
In her first days on the job, Jackson has made it clear that one of her primary focuses will be addressing the department's staffing shortages.
As you know, we are 22 vacant positions right now, and one of the things that I hope to bring is that individuals that are looking for a job right now look at this department and see that this is the department to come to. And they think that this is the department to come to because they have the leadership that backs and supports them, and more importantly, they have the community that backs and supports them.
Jackson's strong ties to the region provide her with an invaluable insight to the unique challenges Tacoma faces.
I grew up in law enforcement in Pierce County, and so when I started back in the 80s, we really had a lot of that camaraderie. We worked together from Tacoma Police Department and Pierce County Sheriff's Department, which is the agency I came from. And so it's kind of reconnecting and getting to know and refamiliarizing.
As Tacoma searches for a permanent police chief, Jackson's leadership is seen as an essential stabilizing force.
I am here to stay. I am here to stay. I also then have that reality that says, this might not be the best fit for the department members. And if that's so, you need to step aside and be able to afford people an opportunity to be led the way that they deserve to be led.
As Tacoma moves forward, Jackson's leadership will undoubtedly shape the future of its police department and its relationship with the community. For Tacoma Report, I'm Mark McKittrick.
To stay up to date on all the news from the Tacoma Police Department and the City of Tacoma, visit cityoftacoma.org. Proposition 1 on the April 22, 2025 ballot would, if passed, use all tax revenues for funding street repair, street maintenance, and safety improvements.
Proposition 1 is on the April 22, 2025 ballot. It's part of the Streets Initiative 2 and proposes a 2% utility tax and a 25-cent per thousand property tax. The average homeowner in Tacoma will see an approximate $2 per month or $26 increase in their utility tax, and then a $6 or $72 annual increase in their property taxes. Approximately $375 million over the 15-year period for maintenance, safety improvements, and repairs. Additionally, with partnerships and grant funding, it could potentially raise $900 million. It proposes to enhance 1,100 to 1,400 arterial lane miles of roadways, 250 to 300 miles of sidewalk, and 5,200 to 6,200 residential streets over the 15-year period. This proposition proposes to enhance pedestrian and bicycle safety, multimodal connectivity, and enhance the roadway network.
For more information on project opportunities and funding options, visit cityoftacoma.org/SI2. Join the City, Tacoma Pierce County Health Department, and the Tacoma Public Library in sharing your climate story. Through art, visuals, or spoken word, your voice can help shape the new Climate Stories Community Archive. Tacoma Climate Stories events are happening in April for all ages, leading up to a final celebration on May 10th. Help inform future Tacoma climate communications efforts and get inspired for your next read. Visit the Engage Pierce County site for all the event details. If you've ever considered an electric bike, now might be the perfect time. Tacoma residents have access to rebate programs designed to make e-bikes more affordable. Stacy Minichello has more.
Coming in April 2025 are 2 e-bike rebate programs that Tacoma residents should know about. The first is WeBike, Washington State's e-bike rebate program. The second is the City of Tacoma's e-bike rebate program.
We're making the process as easy as possible for folks to apply, so you'll just have to sign up once and you'll automatically be entered into one or both of the programs depending on your eligibility.
Not everyone who applies will receive a rebate, but eligible households can receive either a $300 or a $1,200 rebate depending on household income.
There will be a list of bike shops where you can get these e-bikes and eligible bike models that meet program criteria. There will be a maximum of 1 e-bike rebate per household.
For both programs, participants must be residents of Washington State, age 16 and older, and provide contact and demographic information.
For the Tacoma program, it is funded by a grant from the Department of Ecology that's really focused on environmental justice and air quality disparities. And so those rebates will go to folks who live in neighborhoods that are overburdened and have air quality disparities.
Both programs are supported with funding from Washington's Climate Commitment Act.
The CCA supports Washington's climate action efforts by putting cap and invest dollars to work, reducing climate pollution, creating jobs, and improving public health.
Washington State plans to distribute about 10,000 vouchers statewide, with an additional 450 earmarked for Tacoma residents living in overburdened communities.
Check out our website at cityoftacoma.org/ebikes for more information. You can also sign up for our mailing list there and be notified when the application portal opens up.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacy Minichello.
Don't miss out on a chance to ride electric. Remember, applications open this April and eligibility will determine rebate amounts. For more details, including how to apply and a list of approved bike shops, visit the city site. Drivers in downtown Tacoma should know that starting around March 26th, South 21st Street is set to close for 6 to 8 weeks. This closure between Jefferson and Pacific Avenues is part of Phase 2 of the Prairie Line Trail project. This upgrade aims to enhance Tacoma's transportation network, linking the waterfront to downtown with new trails and infrastructure improvements. During construction, the nearby Interstate 705, State Route 509 interchange will remain open. Motorists should follow posted detours redirecting traffic to South 15th or South 25th Streets. For project updates, visit the city site or check portable message signs at Pacific and Jefferson Avenues. Coming up after the break, we'll talk with Derek Ngyuen about exciting new exhibits at the Washington State History Museum. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to Tacoma Report. Joining us in studio is Derek Ngyuen from the Washington State Historical Society to tell us all about new exhibits at the Washington State History Museum. Welcome to the show, Derek.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, thank you for being here. So Derek, can you start out by telling our viewers all about the TOYTOPIA exhibit?
Yeah, TOYTOPIA is an interactive journey through the history of toys. TOYTOPIA has hands-on interactive exhibitions for people of all ages to play with some iconic toys. We have exhibitions about Legos, Monopoly, just all kinds of big major toys that a lot of people have experienced throughout their lifetime. So it's a really fun experience for people of all ages, and there's something that people can relate to.
So that sounds really exciting in the fact that it's for all ages. Some of us more mature adults can relive our childhood through TOYTOPIA, right?
It's a lot of fun because it's just a big play area for kids, but also parents and adults can go through and kind of learn about the historical context of some of the toys, and it's been enjoyable and a nostalgia trip for a lot of parents and adults as well.
Absolutely.
Some highlights for adults, there's a retro video arcade, which people have been really enjoying, and a lot of Star Wars collectibles as well.
Oh, sounds fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. So now on April 25th, the museum will also be opening a new exhibit entitled Things They Brought Home, which speaks to the Vietnam veterans experience. Can you tell our viewers a little more about that as well?
Yes. 1975 was the fall of Saigon, so it's the 50-year anniversary of that event, and we're commemorating the Vietnam War with a two-part exhibition. The first part, which is opening in April, talks about the Vietnam War experience from veterans' experience.
Okay.
We have been working with veterans around Washington State to talk to them about their experiences and highlight some of the items that they brought home with them in the exhibition space.
And again, that's April 25th?
Yes, April 25th, and we are opening with a free event. So if you check our website, you can find more information about attending that event in person.
So Derek, I understand there's a second part to this exhibit. Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Yes, opening in the fall of 2025, we're going to have the second part of this exhibition, which focuses on the Vietnamese refugee experience. Throughout the West Coast, there's been a lot of resettlement of Vietnamese refugees, and this talks about the establishment of their communities throughout the U.S., in particular in Washington State, and their experiences adapting to life in the United States.
Okay, well that should be an interesting exhibit as well. As I mentioned, my bonus dad is a Vietnam era vet, and so I'm sure that this will be an exciting exhibit for the community as well.
Yeah, it's exciting for me as well because I'm a son of a Vietnamese refugee, so I'm really excited to see how this story's told and share that experience with my dad.
And so in addition to that, we have This Is Native Land, which will open this summer. And in addition to that, there's a major renovation going on at the gallery. Can you share with our viewers about both of those?
Yes. So the core galleries in the Washington State History Museum were installed in the 90s when it opened up in Tacoma.
Okay.
So for the past 5 years or so, we've been updating all of those core galleries. And the latest one is called This Is Native Land. It really puts Native history at the forefront, and it's told from a Native perspective, which is very unique. We've been working with curators who are Native, and we've been working with over 50 contributors, which is a huge accomplishment, I think, for the curators to get all those people together. So we have all kinds of different voices and perspectives about Native history in Washington State and some of the events that have happened and what it means to them. So we're really excited to have new perspectives about this at the museum because we believe that you can't tell history without hearing everyone's perspective.
Absolutely.
So we're really excited about that.
Wow, I like that. You can't tell history without everyone's perspective. That's absolutely novel, and I love that. And that sounds exciting as well. Looking forward. I need to get myself down to the museum too,
Yes, please.
all of these exhibits. So one other question: what sort of different services? So as we were speaking before, the museum is not just a museum, and you offer different services as well. So can you share with our viewers the Washington State Historical Society, what other services do they provide?
Yes, so the Historical Society has the most notable entity is the museum that everyone knows about.
Right.
We also offer research assistance, and we provide advice and help to historical societies, smaller towns historical societies, and cultural societies around the state. So we are a resource to get people in touch with information or resources to help people tell their community's history and stories.
Wow.
We also have an education department. We help develop curriculum for the state for history programs. We offer public events and all throughout the year at the museum and around the state. And we're just we're very much driven by the community. So if anyone ever needs help, we try to help the best we can or get people in touch with resources or people that can help them.
Wonderful. So you, again, to your point about communities, it's not just within the Historical Society, but community members can come and ask for assistance as well. So that's really amazing.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So we appreciate you for being on the show. Hope to have you back again soon to give us an update about all the wonderful things going on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, Derek. Thank you. After the break, we get a look at the recent Tools for Success conference and find out how you can book your own escape adventure at Fort Nisqually. Don't go away. On March 25th, the Tools for Success Envisioning Your Future conference was held at Tacoma Community College. Tacoma Report's Dan Strothman was there and brings us the story.
Tools for Success is a free conference designed for transition youth and young adults who experience a disability to prepare for college and careers as they reach adulthood.
Well, transition age kind of refers to 18, 21. There's a period of transition into adulthood where a lot of schools will offer programming to help people with disabilities kind of transition into a healthy adult life. Kind of the challenge there is once that programming is done, there is a cliff. It's called the services cliff. And suddenly a lot of the programming is a lot harder to access, it's a lot harder to find. A lot of the supports, they're waitlisted, and it just becomes very difficult. So a conference like this, Tools for Success, helps people find their people, find those resources, find out what's out there, and find out what's interesting.
The first Tools for Success conference was held at Tacoma Community College in 1999, and since then has helped countless youth and young adults who experience a disability shape their future. The annual event features speakers, workshops, community organizations, and state agencies, all giving support to these young adults as they pursue their dreams.
When you first call an employer, you gotta show them that you're wanting to work, not just call them up once and say, or even if you get the same excuse as in, oh, we're not going through applications right now, or we're not hiring. You got to keep on it and let them know that you want to work.
I like to really think about Mr. Rogers and what he said, like, look for the helpers. Well, we are the helpers. And now is an opportunity to show other people how to be the helpers, how to step up, because we can't do this alone.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Dan Strothman.
To learn more, visit toolsforsuccessconference.org. Parks Appreciation Day is Saturday, April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon. Participants are invited to help spruce up local parks by trimming limbs, grooming grounds, and maintaining restoration areas. Come together to lend a hand to keep parks beautiful, our community strong and connected, and be a good steward of the earth. The participating locations are Point Defiance Marina, Point Defiance Park, Titlow Park, and Charlotte's Blueberry Park. To register to volunteer, visit parkstacoma.gov/event/PAD. Trapped, a Labyrinth Adventure has returned to Fort Nisqually Living History Museum with updated puzzles and clues. Acting as trusted allies of the Hudson Bay Company, players decode ciphers, interact with reproduction artifacts, and solve period-inspired puzzles as they search a thieving fur trader's cabin to recover the long-lost map of the Northwest Passage. Starting at $224, the recommended group size is 4 to 8 players, ages 12 and up. Reservations can be booked online at fortnisqually.org. Thank you for joining us for Tacoma Report. To close out the show, we'd like to introduce you to Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium's latest and most adorable resident, a rare and endangered Mulian tapir calf born on Sunday, February 2nd. This is only the second tapir born in the zoo's 120-year history. Zoo guests can look forward to seeing the young calf later this spring. I'm Laura Proctor. Stay tuned and stay connected.